Hello friends, welcome. Today we are going to discuss the construction, working and the use of a temperature measuring device called pyrometer. So pyrometer is a device. These are having two types suppose depending upon the working principle. It may be classified as the divided into two categories. One is optical pyrometer and another one is radiation pyrometer. Now whatever the sketch you are observing here, just observe the cursor. This is the device called as optical pyrometer. At the top here, you will observe the eyepiece through which we have to look towards the hot object. And this lower end that we have to focus in the direction of hot source and judging the brightness of the hot source with some reference lamp. Okay. So this particular device, that is optical pyrometer, can be used for measurement of very high temperature, 700 to 3000 degrees Celsius. In general, this is the range. So very high temperature. Now here is the need of such a high temperature measurement. Say in the case of furnace temperature, temperatures of the molten metal, billet reheating furnace temperature, induction furnace temperature. These are the furnaces, even heat treatments. So in these furnaces, we have to measure a temperature range up to around 1500 degrees Celsius, 1800 to 1000 degrees Celsius, etc. So before moving towards the further description, let us have a review which are the other temperature measurement devices and what will be the ranges in that it can be used. So this is the next slide. Here you will find all the things. Device suitable for different temperature ranges. For example, glass thermometer. If it is mercury filled, it can be used from minus 35 to 510 degrees Celsius. Bimetallic thermometer is there. This may be used up to measurement of minus 40 to 320 degrees Celsius. If you are moving further, thermistor. This can be used from minus 100 to 300 degrees Celsius. Thermocouple, two junctions are there. These are having some standard materials, T type, S type, K type. For example, T type, copper and constant, minus 200 to 371 degrees Celsius. But if we are looking towards K type material, suppose, which is having chromium and aluminum alloy, minus 90 to 1260 degrees Celsius. Even platinum and rhodium, S type thermocouple, 0 to 1482 degrees Celsius. So this slide gives an idea what are the different devices that can be used as per these temperature ranges. Most of the devices are having contact type. That means these devices are come in direct contact with the hot source or the object whose temperature is to be measured. For example, a simple thermometer, it can be directly placed in the body contact if we are willing to measure the temperature of our body, suppose. In the same way, thermocouples that can be used in muffle furnaces where the temperature up to 1200 degrees Celsius that can be measured and it is in direct contact. But when these temperature measurings are subject to such a higher temperature, there may be a chance because there may be a chance of rusting, fire hazard. So it will deteriorate. It gets spoiled immediately. So to overcome all these problems, the device pyrometer, optical pyrometer that can be used. So at the end of this session, you will be able to answer some of the questions. For example, state the temperature and measuring range or the temperature measuring range. State different elements of this particular optical pyrometer. What are its application, advantages and disadvantages. Explain working of optical pyrometer. And even you are in a position to draw the schematic sketch of optical pyrometer. Optical pyrometer. Now, what is inside this tube that we are observing with a schematic sketch? Before that, let's have a look on some dialogues. So, in an optical pyrometer, brightness comparison is made to measure the temperature. The optics that we are going to use to compare the brightness. So, where we are comparing? So, there is a reference bulb and that reference temperature, its brightness we have to consider. So this device compares the brightness produced by the radiation of the object whose temperature is to be measured with that of reference temperature. The reference temperature is produced by a lamp. Suppose tungsten filament lamp is there. So as we are going to increase its resistance, change its resistance, or increasing or decreasing the current flowing through it, its brightness changes. So when the wavelength of both the sources, reference bulb temperature and the object whose temperature is to be measured, the brightness, when the brightness is same, at that time, what is the current flowing through this reference bulb that we are taking into consideration? So after adjusting the temperature, the current passing through it is measured using a multimeter. As its value will be proportional to the temperature of the source, then the scale is calibrated. So that scale of the multimeter is directly giving the source temperature, hot object temperature. So let us consider the schematic sketch of this optical pyrometer on the next slide and just observe the different elements. Now here you are observing the complete pyrometer device, and this is a tube. Now you just see this is outer tube. In this outer tube, these different elements are assembled. For example, this one is the objective lens, another one is the absorption screen. You will find the red filter and the eyepiece. So this tube, that is the lower end of this device, that we have to focus on the temperature source, say the furnace temperature or the molten metal temperature, and we have to observe its intensity through this eyepiece. So, and comparing that brightness with this reference temperature lamp, tungsten filament lamp, suppose. Now there is a separate circuit for this. This lamp, you just observe, there is a output device, a reading device, multimeter. You will get here what is the current flowing, and that value is directly calibrated in terms of the source temperature, degrees Celsius, suppose. Now you are observing here the battery is there, rheostat is there. When we are moving the rheostat arm over the rheostat, current flowing through the lamp is going to change. As the current flowing is more, the reference bulb shows more brightness and vice versa. So this brightness we are comparing in the background of source temperature and judging whether this filament is more bright, less bright, or both the sources are having equal brightness. So this is the logic. So we have to consider which are the different elements, and then we will go to consider the working. So which are the components? An eyepiece at the left side, or in this diagram you are observing at the top, suppose, and an optical lens on the right. That portion we have to align to the hot source. A reference lamp which is powered with the help of battery. A rheostat to change the current and hence the brightness or intensity of the reference bulb. So as to increase the temperature range which is to be measured, an absorption screen is fitted between the optical lens and the reference bulb. A red filter placed between the eyepiece and the reference bulb helps in narrowing the band of wavelength. We are going to see that. This is the working, suppose. The radiation from the source, hot source, that is the furnace in this case, suppose, is emitted and the optical objective lens captures it. The lens helps in focusing the thermal radiation on the reference bulb. The observer watches the process through the eyepiece and corrects it in such a manner that means by varying the rheostat arm, that the reference lamp filament has a sharp focus and the filament is superimposed on the temperature source image. The observer starts changing the rheostat value and the current in the reference lamp changes. Doesn't turn, changes its intensity or brightness. So this change in current can be observed in three different ways that we are observing. Which are the different three cases? The first case here, filament is more dark in the background. The whole circle is the background of the hot object. So we are comparing the brightness of the hot source and brightness of the filament. Here in the first case, the filament is dark. That means it is cooler than the temperature source. Or in other words, its temperature is less and the temperature of the source is more. In the similar way, we have to consider the second case. Now we are increasing the brightness. Suppose the filament is more bright, that is hotter than the temperature source. Still, case 1 and 2 not giving the correct readings of the hot source. Now we have to change the rheostat arm position in such a way that the filament must disappear. It goes away. It cannot be visualized clearly in the background of hot source. That means it is having the equal brightness in between the filament and temperature source. So the same things have been written over here. So when this brightness is equal, at that time we have to consider what is the current flowing through the multimeter, and that reading is the reading of the hot source. And in this way, pyrometers that can be used for measurement of temperature. Let us summarize some advantages and disadvantages of this device. So this can be used for measurement of higher temperature. Of course, we have seen on the first slide from 700 to 3000 degrees Celsius around. Simple assembly, not so much different components and like that. So this device enables easy use of it. We have to consider its accuracy also. It provides a very high accuracy within plus minus 5 degrees Celsius, as we are going to measure such a high temperature. As the device is of non-contact type, that means it does not have a direct contact with the object, hot object. Hence, there is no burning hazard. Further advantages: the device can be used for remote sensing. At another place, we can measure the temperature, suppose, just if the multimeter and wiring arrangement is there. This device cannot only be used to measure the temperatures, but this can also be used to see heat produced by the object. We can observe the brightness, suppose. So optical pyrometer can be used to measure and view the wavelength less than or equal to 0.65 microns. So if we are considering the micron or the wavelength values, 0.6 microns, that is possible to measure with the help of optical pyrometer. If we are considering the case of radiation pyrometer, suppose, this radiation pyrometer can be used for high heat applications and can measure wavelengths between 0.7 microns to 20 microns. So one can say radiation pyrometer can be used for further higher temperature. What are the disadvantages of the optical pyrometer? As the measurement is based on the light intensity, we are going to compare the brightness intensity. The device can used only in applications with a minimum temperature of 700 degrees Celsius. In other words, we can say that the device cannot be used for measurement of a temperature of 100 degrees Celsius because its accuracy suffers. The device is not useful for obtaining continuous values of the temperature at small intervals. We have to take the readings. Continuous output may not be possible, suppose. What are the applications that we have already discussed, suppose? This can be used to measure the temperature of liquid metals or highly heated metals. Can be used for measurement of the furnace temperature, billet heating furnace temperature, induction furnace temperature, muffle furnace temperatures, to measure temperatures of heat treatment process, etc., etc. So if we are revising this optical pyrometer, suppose, only the working principle is that we have to compare the brightness, intensity of brightness, and we have to adjust the current in such a way that the brightness of the reference lamp that should be invisible or having the equal brightness of the hot source. This is the case of optical pyrometer. And what happens in case of the radiation pyrometer? Whatever the wavelength that we have to focus on some mirror, and from that again we are diverting or reflecting these rays on some detector. So this through the eyepiece, suppose. So when these radiations are concentrated, the heat energy is being converted into the EMF with the help of transducer, might be called as detector. So there we are directly utilizing the heat, and here only we are going to compare the brightness. So if you are clearly understood what is the working construction, which are the different parts, what are the advantages, disadvantages, where it can be used, so you can find the answers of these questions. State temperature measuring range and applications of optical pyrometer. Explain with neat sketch working of optical pyrometer. list advantages and limitations of the optical pyrometer, and finally draw a neat level sketch of optical pyrometer. So thanks friends, thank you very much.